Good morning, everyone. Welcome to all the new members and to all the old members that have found their way back to the community. I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. To start this morning, Bitcoin did exactly what we feared when it got up to 50,000. We talked at 50,400 if this was topping out. Now the relative strength index suggested a hefty correction. It's taken a few days to get here, but now we're down 2.79%, or Bitcoin's down about 1,400 points on the day. And we're going to take a very close look to see how far this can go. We'll take a look at the first several support levels. We already fell through the first major support at 49,100 area. We'll go through the next major support areas until we finally get back down to around the 44,000 area. Nobody says we have to come all the way down there, but I would be targeting, well, I'll show you when we get into the technical analysis where we're targeting for Bitcoin. XRP, as we can see, is down 2.51% on the day, or down 1.3 cents, right back down to that 518 support. That's a major pivot level. If it can hold 518, that is a support zone. If it loses that, it'll come down to 508, 494, and 482 appropriately. Those are the levels below. We'll take a very close look at Jamie Dimon. He issued a warning, so I want to thank Kyle Kupiak for sending that to my email. We'll get to that at the back end of this update. So if you stick around, you're going to get a lot of information. You're going to get a lot of breakdown in the technical analysis, and you're going to be able to get a clear and decisive picture in your own head or right here on the screen of where exactly crypto is going, where Bitcoin can go on this retracement, and how quickly we can reverse if that's the case. Please make sure you hit that like button, as it will force YouTube to recommend this video, and it will allow us to continue to grow this community. I thank each and every one of you, especially the members of Tom's Army, who allow me to continue to fund this program and allow me to be here every single day for each and every one of you, as this is something that I'm very passionate about. If you're an XRP holder, don't give up. XRP holders, don't give up. You know what you're doing. You know why you bought. You know what you're planning for. Don't allow these short-term movements in time throw you off of the scent. Don't let it throw you off the track. You're right where you need to be. So good morning, 10:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So let's start with Bitcoin very quickly. It's down 2.5%, or 1,232 points. Is this a sustainable drop? We would like to know. The fact that we came through 49,133 tells me that 47,382 is likely that retest, and we've talked about this. This is the first tier broadening wedge. It's why we didn't want to put the top section on, but we did yesterday just so we could see that upper level. But if we minus this, we already know 53,298 over the top. This is the actual broadening wedge. So if we're testing to make sure that this pattern is still bullish, you would come down on Bitcoin and retest the broadening wedge here. So nothing out of this is abnormal. If you come down below 47,400, it's interesting, because then it's signaling we want to retest the cup. We want to retest the cup support that used to be resistance, and then that could put in the handle. So if you see something like this, don't be swayed, be happy. If you see Bitcoin do something like this, and then we come down and build that handle like this, oh man, that's a great area. Even if you were to come down a little bit farther to 44,000 and then start working your way back up, I mean, that could be the perfect area as well. You'd create this little, it's always hard to say exactly how far this is going to go, but you'd create some kind of a handle like this. You'd fill it out, and then boom. So right now, if you're wondering, Bitcoin is trying to put in a successful handle. And if you do put in a successful handle on the cup, that is a bullish continuation formation. So we'll see. We've got a long ways to go down, though. If Bitcoin on this straight down, if it wants to, it can come down 47,300. Next area is 46,700 roughly, or 46,354. The area after that would be the bull flag, the old bull flag formation before it exposed itself into a broadening wedge. So you'd have to come down through there, and then if you came all the way down through all of those levels, eventually you could find yourself at 44,000. But that's the least likely of the scenarios. Right now we've got a lot of support in between, and we're going to see what kind of volatility we have through the day. Because it was a rather big drop, in such a short amount of time. We'll see if we get the continuation down, but it suggests that we should probably head down here more. So if you were enjoying the Bitcoin winning streak, it's probably coming to an end today, as far as, without any big losses. For XRP, and it's a very interesting morning this morning. For anybody who tuned in yesterday, if you're not new, if you are new, you won't know this. But if you were here yesterday, we talked about this very real possibility of this breakdown. We talked about that 534 pivot level. We talked about yesterday how we were a little nervous because Bitcoin closed under 50,000. As small of a gap as it was, Bitcoin closed under 50,000. You would have thought with all that strength we had yesterday, the bulls would have pushed us through. They would have held 50K. But these are the exact moments in history we talk about. Just because if it happens, we don't want everybody to be like, oh my God, what just happened? I can't believe we didn't see this coming. XRP is by no means done yet. It's just like we talked about. If Bitcoin was breaking down, and if it comes down to like 44, wherever that area is, you could see XRP at 489 again before the significant breakout. Remember, as long as we're below 52 cents right now, which I think we've squeaked our way back up, but if we're below 52 cents, that is a signal to the push down to the bottom of this formation. So if we do push down into the first tier, because right now we had a failed tier 1 breakout, rejected twice on 534, it almost looks like it put in a M-topping reversal. Could be a reversal here still. Could be a little fake out, and then it goes to the top side anyhow, so we'll have to see exactly how this plays out. But the ebb and flows are definitely piggybacking off of Bitcoin, and this could be the very reason why altcoins weren't pushing up as much yesterday. And we said there's a signal here going on. Right now, XRP, believe it or not, remember Bitcoin? Remember Bitcoin's broadening wedge? Believe it or not, XRP in the hourly, it's very easy to see this. Would we dare say XRP opened up a broadening wedge inside of this formation? I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. I think we did. Top side would bring you to the top of the descending triangle if you broke to the top, and that would give you enough steam to get to 56. If you break to the bottom of this, you have enough steam to get to 489. So that is where we're looking. So a sneaky broadening wedge to me has formed itself within the XRP price action. I think it's pretty easily diagnosable when you get into the 1 hourly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it off of this chart. Hear me out. It's not because it's not happening. It's because we're going to, you know what? This chart has to be elevated. This chart's getting called up. Now it's on the practice squad. It went from being unsigned to now it's on the practice squad because of the intel. So this XRP chart for me is important because it's the all-time pattern of XRP. Well, Tom, what does that mean? It's the all-time pattern. This is the all-time pattern of XRP. This is the convergence we're in, and I even have underneath to show the uptrend that we bounced off of in March of 2020 to reestablish a new uptrend after all-time highs in January of 2018. Now the price is converging. So, now that we've diagnosed in the 1 hourly that we have a broadening wedge, let's put it on this chart. We'll put it on this chart because this is the cleanest chart. It doesn't have much writing on it. And now we'll be able to keep this out in the open without, messing up what we're trying to look at. So if you're watching, just follow along at home. Put this on your chart at home. And then you will have a beautiful interpretation here. What looks like a broadening wedge in the making, or at least starting. So if we can hold the support, that will allow for big bounces back up. If we break below, so break below target can be all the way down here, right? Break below target can be down here around 484. So we'll just put this on this map. If you break above, and the descending triangle shows all of this. So we're not making these numbers up. They're not coming out of oblivion. They're not from an oblivious spot. This is where it's suggesting that if we break up, we should come into this area. And that you can identify on this chart because we're in the descending triangle. So if we break down, you're coming down here to about it's 486. If you break up, it's about 56 cents. We'll keep it. That's fine. So we'll diagnose that on this chart from now on. Let me switch it so that I know which chart is which, because this should be the third chart. That's the market cap. Right here. That's all that happened. So it kind of got switched around. So let's get back into this chart real quickly. So we're at 52 cents right now. It's telling us if we... Actually, why did I move that chart? There, that's the right chart. So if we look at this, realistically, underneath, we can see the levels. Over the top, we can see the levels. And I'll just keep this chart here for future reference. But for now, we'll stay within the descending triangle chart. This is it. And this is how you get the underneath support right now. Underneath support, first layers. Actually, it's 49 cents. Let's update this. Let's update this. It's actually about 49 cents. So I prefer for these to be right on accurate. And please, don't hesitate to put this at home. These are the kind of numbers we'll be able to see if we do start breaking up or breaking down, that these are the areas that will allow us to either hold or break above. Right now, remember, we're in this little broadening wedge that's formed overnight. It's easily identifiable in the 1 hourly. If we break down below this, it's still very bearish. If we bounce off it, you can have a nice consolidation back up. Even if we're bearish, it'll be about a 6.6% bounce up. And that would get you to the top of the broadening wedge. Bitcoin, I don't know if we put in similar formation. Not yet. Bitcoin's just consolidating. So on the way back up, if Bitcoin does push up, watch 49,133 as a resistance, because it is attempting to put in a head formation right now. If we continue to come down with Bitcoin, just pay attention to 47,378. That is a major pivot point of the broadening wedge support. So that's where we're at this morning. We did have a harsh breakdown. So you're having the volatility to back to the top side a little bit here. But if it continues to move up and get rejected, it's going to be a volatile swing back down. That is the problem right now. Bitcoin being under 50,000, we knew this could happen. We could have these quick swings. So pay attention to the short-term setup with XRP, the short-term broadening wedge. You know the targets if it does break through there. Pay attention to... Let's see on this part. With the XRP market cap, that is another thing we have to discuss. XRP market cap could not stay above 28.79 billion. It too has put in this little bit of a, I don't necessarily want to call it it's kind of like a stationary wedge on this one, with a flat support as of right now. But if it breaks down any farther, 27.21 billion is where we're going to be looking at for XRP with the market cap. If we do push up for a retest, 28.792 billion for XRP. The other thing I want to take a look at while we're all together still is how we talked yesterday about the DXY. It's up to 104.72. It's caused commodities to have this little bit of a reversal here. So now we're finally starting to get towards some of these levels. But with the DXY at 104.73, we talked about how it had a technical target to move up to 105. It's getting very close to there right now. This allowed crypto to have that downturn as well. So let's be very cautious and pay very close attention to the DXY. It was screaming. It was screaming at us that we're about to have a breakout. Screaming. And unfortunately for some of the other parts of the markets, it's had a very big effect here. Very big effect. So just pay very close attention and monitor your risk. Total crypto market cap is at 1.79 trillion, or down 1.64%, or 29.879 billion. It looks like it's starting to pull the head formation down. We came down below 1.795. That's a big resistance area, just like with Bitcoin. 49,135 is a big resistance area. So if we do get rejected here, you could have a lengthy drop. Nobody says it has to come all the way down. But we technically had a breakout of this formation and we never retested it. So we'll see exactly how bullish crypto is, or if this is the start of a head reversal, like the head formation. It's going to be a very finicky morning here this morning with this going on. So what I want you to remember this morning, one, if you hold XRP, this is not the time to get rid of the stranglehold. If you're buying XRP and you can get it 2 for $1, it's definitely not where we were buying it to sell it at. We're looking to sell XRP not in the cents. We're looking to be holders, not to sell it in the cents. I didn't buy it to sell it for thousands. I sold, not to make a couple $1,000s. I bought it to make significant financial changes, not just with XRP, but with the rest of our ISO and IoT tokens. But we focus mainly on XRP because going forward, it is more like a stable coin and it does help fund the digital system. So instead of having paper fiat, we're going to be digital backed. That's where XRP comes in. But there's a lot of adoption going on under the radar. There's a lot of things happening under the radar. But right now I want to share with you what Jamie Dimon said very quickly, and I thank Kyle Kupiak for this.
Jamie Dimon, yes, America's top banker. He's sounding the alarm on our growing national debt. Ashley, what exactly is Dimon? He's issuing a dire warning. What's it about?
A dire diamond warning, yes. He calls it the most predictable crisis in history. In fact, former House Speaker Paul Ryan said that. He just agreed. But he also says that Washington is facing a market rebellion because of the tab it's racking up. While Bank of America's CEO Brian Moynihan believes it's time to stop admiring the problem and instead do something about it. Well said. Public debt currently exceeds $34 trillion, going up as we speak. Debt to GDP ratio sitting around 120%. Everyone agrees it's not sustainable. Democrats and Republicans both to blame, but how much of a threat does it really represent? Well, it does depend on who you ask. According to the Brookings Institute, housing, construction, cars, any other interest rate sensitive sectors are going to be hit hard. And a New York foundation says the debt pile could lead to reduced public spending, private investors losing faith in America's economy, and shrinking prosperity for U.S. families, thanks to the worsening housing and jobs market and a threat to national security. I hope you're all thoroughly depressed by now, because it doesn't look good, according to some.
So that's what Jamie Dimon had to say, and I think it's pretty interesting, just because we know the potential in the market. It's just whenever they're telling you about these dire warnings, especially in an election cycle, isn't it funny how things seem to continue to push up? Right now, I'd be shocked if the Dow Jones just says, we're going to fall down by 5,000 points. Yeah, we've had a nice correction today. But I'd be shocked if it just fell down by 4,000 or 5,000. Maybe if it fell down below 30, I'd be extremely surprised, especially in an election cycle. This is just something we're going to have to deal with. So pay attention to the volatility today. We need to see how Bitcoin reacts if it comes back up to 49,135. XRP, we'll see how it reacts if it comes back up to two levels, 526 and 534. 534 is the major pivot point, which we got a double top on. And now we've created some kind of broadening wedge here in the short time. So if you go based on that with XRP, your bottom end potential here to see if we can bounce out of this, it's getting close. XRP's got support right around 511 on this broadening wedge, and we'll see if it can bust out of this. Otherwise, if it breaks down 491 area, if we go back into the descending triangle look, could be a very real target here for XRP. But that would be on a breakdown. And you can see here, you just come down to the bottom of this descending triangle in the shorter time frame. And that's how you would get this support. If you lose the tier 1 breakout, which we have, and we get rejected, which would be around 52 cents, your target could come all the way down to 49 cents. We know we have the 511 in between on that broadening wedge that's emerged here in the short term. So it's going to be a very interesting, a very educationally informing day. And it'll be a great day for everybody to stick around and to see exactly how this plays out. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciated this update, make sure you hit that like button so that we can force YouTube to recommend this video and help expand the reach of this audience. If you appreciate what I do and you're coming to like my approach, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as we're getting close to 20,100 subscribers now, as we eke a few subscribers out a day. So I thank everybody who's new or returning. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, look no further than the video description below. There's the ways that I do it, whether you want a spot or futures trade, which I don't encourage leverage trading just because of the volatility, but if you would like to, there's options for that. I have PHEMEX, MEXC, and or BITUNIX. They're the easiest ways for me to do it, and they have the lowest spot fees, so I don't have to spend the extraordinary fees of Uphold. So if you're looking to trade crypto, that's a great way to support the show. Click on the links in the video description below. And then besides that, you'll also find in the video description below a way to pay it forward. So I encourage each member one time a month to send a donation to help fund this program. Whether that one way of sending a donation is you joining Tom's Army, and there's members up to 34 months right now, or if you want to send a YouTube super chat, either way helps the cause. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you pay attention to the volatility. I'll be back multiple times today to keep us updated. So I thank you all for blessing me with the opportunity to give you all this information. Have a blessed morning, everybody. And if you watch this until the end, hashtag be better, do better. Remember to do this from an emotionless standpoint. We do not play the victim here. We play the winner. And with that, we have to have all the information from the news and charts perspective equally to make an educated and informed decision. We do it with the power of positivity here. We do it through love, not negativity.